All right, great to see you, everybody. Hopefully I'm live. Everything's looking good. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, perfect. Yeah, this is the first time I'm using two monitors. The second monitor I'm using is not great, but I'll tell you what, it's certainly, I think, showing me what potential I have going forward, because I'm like, oh my goodness, now it's like I can, I'll be able to share the whole window of the other monitor, that type of stuff. I think it's going to make things a lot less clunky in the long run, so that'll be great. Eric Chavez, BattleReady, great to see you. Good morning. And William Arends, hello from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Good morning. Great to see you as well. Like I was mentioning, I don't know how quick you guys have popped on. Oh, good morning, Meandering Mike. Great to see you too. This is the first time, so I don't know if you're going to maybe notice my head's acting a bit oddly compared to other weeks due to the fact that I am using the second monitor. And like I said, I think it's going to be a heck of a lot nicer, because I was doing it just a little bit of a practice bit before the stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, like I said, I'm able to share the whole window now. I can it was able to see, it seemed like it auto sized my little picture and be able to put up the chronology text and all that stuff for what's going on from week to week. I had to do a lot less posturing or resizing of the windows and so on and so forth. So to me, this is looking like I said, I'm like going forward, I'm like, wow, this is a lot of potential, which kind of spurred me on, I think, yesterday and maybe the day before. I'm not really sure, but I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to actually, if this is going to work with this two monitors thing, I think I'm going to convert. It's been around in my head anyways. I really want to make something a bit more permanent or solid for the live streams. And I was like, well, maybe I'll convert the dining room over there, which is just a bunch of books on a big butcher's block table, which I'm just using for books as well. And maybe I'll convert that into a live stream office type of a thing. Anyways, before we get off onto that, because I want to make sure that I say yet again, welcome everybody. I'm super happy to see you guys. It's not funny. Please let me know what you're up to. I wear my reading glasses. I do try to make some notes. Eric Chavez, BattleReady, have you managed to put on Imperial Tide yet? Oh, by the way, Harro Bosma is around. He's just driving in the car right now, so he's not able to. He's being a smart boy and just listening, not doing any stupid stuff while driving. Yeah, I'd like to know if you finally, of course, yeah, I am actually pushing you to get Imperial Tide on the table, because I'd like to find out about it. William Arends, man, how's the War of 1812 game going there? The one there from High Flying Dice, I think it is. Charles is making pancakes. Oh, Charles Latora, man. I haven't made pancakes, well, occasionally, very rarely, but ever since I had that pre-diabetic scare or whatever, I've been really trying to, like, with the sugar. And Meandering Mike, I just finished watching your misadventures with counters, and I don't know if other people know, but because Meandering Mike's got to hustle his butt there to try to get 2 more games done for his 10-game challenge for the War Room, I think that's who they are, ID Jester and them. Leto Vorbeck is coming for us, so that's going to be great in an inadvertent way. Hopefully, Meandering Mike will talk about it here on this stream, or I'm sure as hell he's going to be mentioning doing a video. I've never I've got the Leto Vorbeck game upstairs. I've heard a ton of people talk about it. Never seen it played. So this will be the first time I actually get to actually see somebody babble on about it, which will be great. William Arends says, greetings to the Little Camp Chapel congregation. How about Chaplain Anguilla? Right on. Charles Latora says, sugar-free syrup and lactate milk. Interesting. Yeah, darn it. I don't know if I could do that, Charles Latora. Eric Chavez, BattleReady. I could count how many war games I did this year. Not sure, actually. Oh, neat. All right, so you know what? We've got enough people here. Let's start off with the History Heroes trivia, and then we'll just slink on into the hour and see how it goes. I've got a few things written down. I'm going to try to not talk about Operation Albion and Riga, the Gulf of Riga and whatnot. And I don't have a ton of it. It's actually, I've got more info on the Battle of the Gulf of Riga and Lord knows what's in 1915 than I do about the S&T game, Operation Albion, there in 1917, which Harro Bosma had mentioned last week. And I was like, hey, why in the world wouldn't I want to use that then? I mean, this is what we're mentioning about these live streams, is that it's, it's a complete interactive here. So it's yours as much as mine. So I was like, well, rather than rolling randomly, I might as well just, if somebody was going to mention, hey, I'd like to find out about this World War I related game, well, let's do it. William Arends says, I'm still working on making the counters for the War of 1812 games. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Oh, so it's a print and play thing, eh? Eric Chavez, BattleReady. Here you're designing World War I aerial game, Chris. Oh, in a weirdo way. Okay, you know what? We'll just keep on talking, but I do want to get to the history heroes, make sure. The weird thing is, yes, and this is the strange thing, is it's almost like taking a life of its own. I'm letting it go. I'm like, whatever. I'm just like, for me, look, it was just to have fun, like on the afternoons or whatever. But then earlier this week, a friend, colleague of mine, Rob, who comes over occasionally, he came up we were just talking about names, and I was like, ringing around names, and my God, you should have saw the ridiculous name. Well, the first name he came up with was Old Newton, and then I wanted Spun In, and then I wanted Arsene Charlie, but then I was like, I wanted a kid-friendly-ish game, and that doesn't sound too kid-friendly. And then he just said, what about Doppeldecker, which is the German word for biplane? And I just was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. And then I sent out, and then I've been talking with another friend, colleague of mine, Bailey Wright, who's an artist. She's amazing. She's actually designed games, two games, and has a couple of Dungeons and Dragons characters published, like monsters published. And one of them, inadvertently, I just found out a couple of weeks ago, she freaked right out. She's watching a YouTube video. Someone picked her, and she doesn't know this person, picked her monster and did a 3D resin printing of her monster. And they did a painting and a little video thing. And she was just like, what in the world? So she's been helping me out in an odd, weird way, and then hooked me up with an artist friend of hers, and the guy was like, for like $100 or whatever, I can do a concept art. But I was like, we haven't gone down that road yet. But I was just like, what's going on? And Rob this week said as well, do you mind if they've been talking amongst each other, trying to figure out a cheaper way of making the components. And I said, look, man, I'm just doing whatever. And Rob's like, oh, by the way, do you mind if this week if I fiddle around with it? Yes, I will. There's a few videos, but once he's going to be in next week, I hope comes by next week. He certainly seems awfully motivated there, Eric Chavez, BattleReady, about I'll show it to you sometime. So I'm hoping he brings over his cardboard thing that he wants to do. And I was like, Rob, you're a developer. That's it. And I made like a little pretend BGG credits thing and popped them in. It was like, art design, art, vacant and all this kind of stuff, but whatever. Okay, let's go to the, hold on here. This is going to be very interesting that I get to do these nice little, I'll pop it in the banners first. So here's your first, gosh, hey, this is going to be interesting to see how quick the Who or What Am I in World War I today, the History of Heroes goes, because I don't know. It'll be, I think once you guys start seeing a few of them, it's going to be like, holy smokes. Okay, so there's the first one. At my funeral, my horse, Bonfire, wore my boots backwards in the stirrups in military tradition. Who am I? And I'll put that in the thing here. Still, it's going to take a while for me to get used to the fact that I've got two screens. But I can't wait to try to start working on the dining room and be able to do that at some point here. So I'll put them in here. So there you go. I hope you got them there. All right. And so that's your first clue. And I've got there, so everybody's happy. I'm just making sure that I haven't screwed up here. William Harris says, the games came with mounted counters, but I found them too thick to cut through cleanly, so I made copies, and I'm recreating the counters. Meandering Mike has done a video that is helpful. Yes, I just finished watching it, and bizarre that you. Oh, well, not bizarre. Interesting that you mentioned that, William Arends, because that's one of the comments I was saying, that I found Meandering Mike's video on him making, or he calls it the misadventures of making counters or whatever. I found it extremely informative and a lot better actually than I found a lot of other like true on crafting type videos for that type of stuff. Okay, so that was your first clue. I'll pop in the next one since you guys now I think it's going to be like super quick. All right, and there's your second one. In 1915, I became second in command of medical services at a Canadian hospital in France. Who am I? And I'll put that in the comments. And then after that, I think we'll go off to, I wanted to maybe show you, I can show it to you quickly, and then maybe it'll be inadvertently be talking a little bit about last night's, I wouldn't really call it a lecture. It was they're calling it a fireside chat. So this is from the World War I Association, and I guess it was their third online fireside chat they've had. They normally, I guess, they had they actually have real ones at their chapter, but they were like, okay, we're going to. I haven't shown it to you yet. So this is going to be. All right, you guys can see that. I'll put me, how's that? Something like that? No, we'll go there. So yeah, there's, so this is going to be screening tomorrow at 11 in the morning. Holy moly, pretty awfully early. I know, I hope I'm not driving people nuts by banging on all the time about the World War I museum and all that stuff in memorial. But I thought, hey, you never know. The weird thing is, I wish that in some ways they have, has anybody even seen this movie? I haven't seen it. Only watched a couple of minutes of, I think that they allowed me free on YouTube or whatever. It would have been kind of, I guess maybe for licensing rights or whatever, but it would have been nice to see that. It would have been nice to see if they could have like live streamed it as well, but that's not the case. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about if you as well. I'm just going to stop the screen here temporarily, so I just thought I wanted to show you that. So that's going to be aired tomorrow, and if anybody's seen it, I'd like to know. I haven't seen it. And here's your third clue coming up, and then we'll go off to. I'll put it in the banners. Hold on here. I'm gonna make sure I didn't screw up here. Just before I died, I was made the first Canadian consulting physician to the British Army. Who am I? So there you go. All right. So I've got that done, and now we're going to, it shouldn't be that too tricky. What I want to start doing is go through the week that was, and then we'll start from there. Oh, except I do want to quickly mention what happened last night at the during the fireside chat. Yeah, I mean, like I've said it, I think you guys were, I think I'd mentioned it before in one of my little, yeah, I was obviously intimidated. I mean, I'm dealing with, I didn't say a bloody thing. I did make a comment, though. I did ask if anybody had read the book, Trench Warfare, The Live and Live System by Tony Ashworth, and would they recommend the book? I didn't mention that I was reading it or anything. I didn't want to do it that way. I just was like, have you heard of this book? Have you read it? And do you recommend it? No one responded or whatever, but it did look like somebody in the live stream there, like with the pic. I didn't have my name. I didn't put my camera on, audio, nothing like that. Are you nuts? I did notice somebody perk up when they saw my comment, so and then write something down. So maybe, but I was kind of hoping that maybe somebody would mention it, but no. And Harro Bosma isn't here, but hopefully later on, he can look in the comments or whatever. But I will pop it in here. I'm just going to remove the banner for a second, and I will put it in the thing. I think I have it in the. Got a third. There it is. It says here. So they did talk about some couple of authors, and I'm also going to give you a whole chunk here. at once. And I'll pop that straight into the comments. There. You guys can see that, I hope. So, yep, in the comments anyway. So it's, I wonder if I can put it in. No, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to, it is in the comments there. So that's, well, actually, wait a minute. I can just share my bloody screen. Nah, I don't want to get into all that crazy nonsense at this moment, because I'm worried you're going to see the answer in the back there. So those are two authors that down there, Michael Jürgs. That book is a German book about the Christmas truce, and I was like, oh my gosh, I unfortunately didn't write down the name of the book, but Meandering Mike's Space Above and Beyond was a cool TV show, canceled too soon, way too soon, Meandering Mike. And this is the cool thing is. Well, the neat thing is that Charles Latora puts a little video on yesterday or whatever saying, hey, what are you going to be watching? This is what I'm watching during the holidays. What are you going to be watching? And I was like, I don't really know what I'm going to be watching, except this did come in the mail in the post there yesterday. So the 1930 version. So I'll be watching that. And coincidentally, I'll be lending it off to Rob. I asked him if he wanted to watch it. He's like, yep. And why I've got Space Above and Beyond there, Meandering Mike, going to freak me right out. I was like, awesome. I can't wait to mention it tomorrow because a bunch of you guys are sci-fi fans. And Charles Latora had done the thing about what are you going to be watching these holidays? And I was like, well, guess what? I'm going to be watching an episode of Space Above and Beyond, the River of Stars, because one of the commenters mentioned that that episode is actually about the Christmas truce in a weird way. And they actually have, I think the first minute he said, or something like that, of the episode has some black and white footage of the Christmas truce or whatever. So I was like, whoa, I'm going to be watching that. So that was kind of neat. Other than that, I can tell you about the fireside chat. It was, yeah, it was darn good. I just love being surrounded by other people that are talking about the Great War. I mean, it's like, holy smokes. I was just like trying to soak in everything like a sponge. And I'm just going to keep on cranking it, keep on going. It's weird. I will say this. Good morning, Grogshed. Great to see you. Here for a few minutes while I wait for my turn in the shower. Right on. And I hope to God you got some hot water left. God, you're bringing me back some memories. Anyways, oh darn it! What I was gonna I got sidetracked, and I darn it. That's all right because we're just talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the so it was about look, this is where I came back. Last night felt very much so exactly the way I felt when I first started. Listening, because I wasn't watching, I was just listening to the counter clipping show by Art Wolf's Lair. When I was listening to what I considered, you guys, basically, essentially, people that knew orders of magnitude more about gaming and history and everything else. I was just like, and slowly but surely. Said, oh, can I interact as well? That's exactly how I'm kind of feeling. It's weird. I was like last night, I was like, oh my gosh, it felt really interesting. All right, so let's get back to talking about the banner, getting back to this stuff. And then I could put on another banner. So I did that one. And now here I'm going to go for the other clue. And I'll put that in the thingamajig. And the other thing there, so the 1914 there's also a 1914 Sainsbury's ad about the Christmas truce. I got to watch it last night. They showed it, and there's and then you saw that thing over there, All Is Calm, the musical, which I hadn't seen as well. So I put that in there. And I caught pneumonia and then meningitis in January 1918 in my hospital. Who am I? All right, and I'll put you in the comments. Okay, there we go. And now we'll go to what was going on last week in 1915. And I also hopefully can start. I would love to tie it in with, hey, what happened here? love to tie it in with the Globe stuff, like I said, with the weekly war summary stuff. I just find it amazing. Well, I mean, you know, it's going to be propaganda. I mean, that's the whole point in many ways. So, okay, so let's go. And like I said, I'm going to try to do this, share my window and see if it works. It's going to be interesting. And I hope to goodness it does. Okay, so I'm going to say entire screen. Boink. And then I'm going to do something like that. There was another one I had that was kind of, I really enjoy. Was it like this? Tell me, no, I'm going to go back to this because I think, yeah, you guys can see much bigger. Excellent. All right. I'm going to hide that. You guys can see that. And I'm going to make it, or was it the, no, that's pretty good. Tell me if, can you guys see that pretty good or not? Or maybe you know what, I'm going to try present, share the screen, a window. Let's see if that helps. That's much, much, much better, I think. Bingo. I like that one. All right. That's what I thought I was practicing on. Oh, thanks, Meandering Mike. So this, I'm hoping that's a bit better though. This is the one I was practicing on, and I thought, oh my gosh, this looks really nice. And I did screw around. See, if I hadn't resized the window, I wouldn't have been. Thank you, Meandering Mike. All right, and then I'm going to, and of course the wow, okay. You know what's going to happen, eh? Like as soon as I pop in another hint, I think you guys are going to get this one. I think you guys are going to get. And this is the way it goes. Well, someone's got to get them. And you know what's been nice? I don't know if anybody else has noticed. I'm going to say it. I think Meandering Mike is being easy on you people, which means he knows full well he can get free points by just popping in some clues or some, answers or whatever. So there's your other one. I was brigade surgeon at the front, soldier and artist as well as writer. Who am I? Like, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, Meandering Mike could probably eat you alive. All right, so you guys can, that, okay, so there, William says, oh no, I'm reading something way old. All right, so there we go. So you guys can now see this. We'll go quickly-ish through there, and please let me know if you guys are finding this boring as all hell or whatever. But at least for me, it's starting to get things into context as well. And like I said, yet again, when we hopefully go to the Globe stuff and take a look at what they were writing, it'll be neat. Meandering Mike says with salt and pepper. There we go. Okay, December 3rd. Charles Latora, great-grandpa of Trudeau. No, but you're going to get a point for it. That's for bloody sure. But, well, you know that the person I'm talking about is Canadian. All right, so the third, you see here, the British force arrives at Kut al Amara, and that's because of remember the retreat. They were just so close to Ctesiphon, and then the Ottomans pushed them back, and then by then, though, they had stuck their neck out so far from what I know. Meandering Mike says, Doc Ock. See, there we go. I'm going to give you another one here. Okay. This is going to be a lightning round thingamajig, guys. You guys are going to go get this it's going to go so fast, it's not funny. Here we go. If you guys can't get this one, there's only one clue after this one. All right. Here we go. I'm going to put it in. There we go. You see it? I wrote my poem in 1915, having performed a burial service for a friend. Who am I? All right. What else did I want to? General Joffre appointed commander-in-chief of the. If you guys see anything interesting, but like I said, I just want to start trying to get things in my head of context and all the things connected together. The other cool thing I thought was. After Harro Bosma had mentioned Operation Albion. I was like, oh, hey, let's go take a look at this. And then we get into the Gulf of Riga, and we'll start talking about that in a bit, is just cluing into, and then also with the Senussi campaign and Darfur and whatnot, all these other areas on the planet that are, having conflicts and are just totally focused in on themselves. I'm sure the people up in the Battle of the Gulf of Riga and whatnot are not thinking about the Western Front and so on and so forth. I just find this amazing. Oh, good morning, Gamers with Coffee. Great to see you, and I hope you're doing great. The Grog Shed, it was McCrae, wasn't it? And guess what? The Grog Shed gets the points. Yes, it's John McCrae. Oh my gosh, I told you it was going to be a lightning round. Everybody and their dog starts coming into it now. William Arends and John McCrae. Yep, we'll go take a quickie look at the thing. Hope you're doing great, Gamers with Coffee. I don't know what time, like if you're on the Eastern Seaboard or what, but great to see you. I'm going to pop the, I'll go and grab the picture then. Yes, it is John McCrae. And now I'll go and present I'm going to stop the screen temporarily, and then I'll present another one. And share screen. There you go. The window, boink, boink. Oh, I think this is really going to work. And I'm going to make sure that yep, I've got it. Okay, I'm just going to blow her up a little bit. You guys can see that. Good, nice and big writing, excellent. I just want to make sure I'm getting the comments right. There's a lot of comments. Oh, General Gamers with Coffee says, I'm in Iowa, right next to a cornfield. Garage Shed, I didn't realize he was a doctor. My kid goes to the school named after him. Oh, wow. Yeah. And interesting that you mentioned that, Grog Shed, because when I went, a couple of months ago there, the poem clue gave it away. Grog Shed says, yeah, that's why I knew. I was like, okay, it's going to be a lightning round thing. This is what I found interesting, Grog Shed. We mentioned it a few weeks ago. When I went to the lecture for Stretcher Bearers and Body Snatchers by Tim Cook, one of the leading researchers at the Canadian War Museum. He mentioned that John McCrae had said before he died that he wished that more people would remember him, in later years, would remember him for his pro-vaccination policies than the poem. And I'm like, oops. So that kind of didn't work, did it? So there we go. You guys can't see that. So there we go. 1872 to 1918. I wrote the famous World War I poem in Flanders Field. I wrote my poem in 1915, having performed a burial service for a friend. I was brigade surgeon at the front, soldier and artist, as well as a writer. In 1915, I became second in command of medical services at a Canadian hospital in France. Just before I died, I was made the first Canadian consulting physician to the British Army. I caught pneumonia and then meningitis in January 1918 in my hospital. And at my funeral, my horse Bonfire wore my boots backwards in the stirrups in military tradition. Alrighty, so I popped that in, and we're there, and then we'll go back to the week, and then I can also do the hold on, there we go. And boink, boink. All right, you guys can see that. Yeah, war council at Calais. Lord Kitchener's certainly getting around, isn't he? I mean, considering last week he was in visiting Greece and the Southern Front and the Italian Front. You know what I find interesting? I don't know if you guys do. Talk about hypocrisy, eh? So these guys are freaking out, and I'm not the first person to mention it. Here they are jumping up and down, left, right, and center. Oh my God, the Germans invaded Belgium, so on and so forth. And Greece, which happens to be a neutral country. Oh yeah, by the way, we're landing troops now, French and British troops in Salonika. Oh yeah, and by the way, you don't mind if Lord Kitchener, the Grog Shed says, sorry, got to run. See you later. Hope you have a great time. And Meandering Mike wishes you well as well. And I just find it. I mean, you imagine, and Lord Kitchener visits Salonika. I just find that absolutely gobsmacking. Imagine if, like, I don't know, General Mackinson or something went and hung out, I don't know, somewhere in Sweden or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, holy moly. I just find it quite hip. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. All right, that's just, well, I am getting into it. So there we go. And yet again, there's a lot of, I just find a lot of, there's King Constantine, I think, of Montenegro. This I found it interesting. This is a quote from the, like I said, from the chronology book. It's dated. I didn't know that's a kind of a strange term. I've never seen that term before. Germans report collapse of the Russian attack near Lake Babbitt, west of Riga. Yeah, and of course, we're yet again going to start talking about the Riga thing. Meandering Mike says, I'm having caper berries for... What the hell? You got to explain that one to me. Or everyone. Bulgars attack on French bridgehead at Demer Kapu along the Varda River, and that we're going to take a look at that in a minute on the in the globe, I hope. Capture of Captain Stanley Wilson by Austrian submarine when carrying dispatches in the Greek steamer. Interesting. And Durazzo bombarded by Austrian squadron. British force in Strumitsa there, and that's well, that's in Greece. Or around that area, for goodness sakes. I said Pasha declares himself Pro's ally. I want to find out about this. What in the world is this? Meandering Mike says capers are the flower bud of the plant. Caper berries are the actual berry part. Really? I had no idea. I'd never knew. Thanks, man. I'd never even heard of that before in my life. Holy moly. Jesus. I did honestly, Meandering Mike, when I heard caper berries, I was thinking, why am I keep looking at the bloody thing over there? When I was looking, when you said caper berries, I was like, is he like doing some wacky, weird thing, like with taking cereal and throwing capers in there? That's what I thought you were doing. And you were just calling them caper berries. William Arends says, the Grog Shed, are you also in Canada? William Arends, he's left, so I'll talk for him. Yes, he's originally from England, but he's living in Ottawa, believe it or not. And we're on a, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to be trading my newer version of Desert Fox Deluxe or whatever the heck it is, because I know I'll never play it. And he's going to be giving me his Serbian Musterbin game, the GMT one. Gamers of Coffee says, that sounds interesting, Mike. How do you cook them? I'd like to know that too. So where else are we going to go here? Oh, there's the resolution passed in favor of renomination and election of President Wilson. I remember George Creel is the dude behind that bit, and he's going to, in a minute, when when the Americans start pulling a 180 in a way, or a 90, in the sense that they're no longer going to become neutral and they're going to go, yeah, it would be a 90, pro-ally and enter the war. He takes George Creel and turns him into the head of public committee of public information or whatever, and that's the propaganda guy that goes freaking mental. Starts hiring tons of artists and everybody, and starts feeding the newspapers full of pro whatever impressive stuff. And like I said, later on, other governments take notice of the techniques and how it worked. So there we go. British, Varder, Bali again. Kut's I mean, this is, I guess, the beginning of the siege of Kut and the starvation of the Indian troops and all that stuff. And, I mean, remember, a lot of them are like refusing to eat. I don't know if it was they were vegetarian or whatnot. Maybe somebody around here would know. Meandering Mike says capers are used in lots of Italian sauces, such as screw that. But caper berries are typically eaten by themselves or maybe sliced in a salad. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, even which way you want to spell it. Artillery activity on the Riga front with a gas attack. Interesting. All right, so there, I'm going to show you that, but I've showed you that bit. Now let's go to show you that. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't have to do that anymore. And I can get rid of that. But I'm going to go to show you the war summary. Right on. Okay. And I want to make sure that, actually, I think I can do this and you guys can just, oh my gosh, I keep forgetting about that. Remember, I'm so not used to, man, am I still, my God, these are too tart, too much vinegar. I was wondering about if you, they had a bit of vinegar with them. Nope. Okay. Excellent. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm just saying in a few weeks, once I start maybe getting a bit more polished, slowly but surely. Okay, you guys can see that. Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting I can get rid of the banner. You don't have to see that anymore. And there you go. And we'll just quickly, I don't want to read too much, but, or whatever. We'll do like I said, if you guys are bored out of your head, let me know. But there it is. There we go. See that patch is Southern Macedonia, bounded roughly by the Greek frontier on the south, the Vardar Valley on the east, and a range of hills paralleling the Cerna on the west. I went and took a quickie look. See if I can find it here. Where are you? So it would be, I'm going to see if I can I'm going to stop this screen and I'm going to present another one. Hold on. There, I wanted to see if we can find it on the Weltkrieg map, this bit that they're talking about. So the Vardar Valley is over here. We can go up there. There's Skopje. And there, I knew it was, they said something about I had to go and look from Belgrade down around Cerna, but it's around, sorry, I guess it must be around here because there's Montenegro and whatnot. So this must be the area they're talking about, this little spot right around here. Okay. On the Greek border and everything. All right. And now I'll go back to the war summary thing here. Hold on. Done. Okay, now I'll go back to this, making sure I can see everything. Oh, I'm going to have to soak these in milk to make them more palatable. Meandering Mike says, milk, interesting. Yeah. I know that a lot of people say to use milk when rather than water, because water will just dilute things like even with super spicy stuff. There was some interesting things here that I wanted to find. Like I said, yet again, it's with the way they say things. Obviously, the French are now around the Bulgars descending from the mountains to the east. It's just so neat to know that this is, I mean, somebody in Toronto or whoever could get the globe back there in Canada. I mean, and remember I was saying, this is like a rinky-dink little newspaper. I'd like to know what other people are getting. There was comparative calm on it's the next one, I guess. Let's go. There we go. It believes the Bulgars are pursuing a policy of watchful waiting until the Germans who are advancing southward down to the Vardar are not attempting to outflank the Allies in the west and are in a position to take part in a combined attack. Meandering Mike says, I love that they call them Bulgars. I know. It's just all these things. I'm just like, it's just amazing. I love the wording and it just stuff that people you couldn't get away with. This has been bringing up from Salonika, only 60 miles away. There's some other, just the way they were saying, this is the one I really wanted you guys to take a look at. In Constantinople, some opium eater has been dreaming of a great invasion of India with a Turco-German army of 500,000 men, of whom 100,000 will be Germans. And look who it is, under the Supreme Commander of Field Marshal van der Goltz. Oh, great to see you, Telemachus, man. I hope you're having a great day so far. Under the Supreme Command of Field Marshal van der Goltz. How's the painting coming along? Those Normans and Lord knows what you're up to. The expedition is start in the spring. And do you also do printing? I know you were saying that you were getting sick and tired of metal figures. The expedition is start in the spring and drive the British out of Mesopotamia en route. Meanwhile, British reinforcements are being hurried up the Tigris, and another try for Baghdad will be long before spring. Of course, we also know what's been going on as well. They're starting to evacuate the troops from Gallipoli, and those troops are going to be sent to, guess where? Here and coincidentally into North Africa to go against the Senussi in the Darfur campaign. It's just amazing stuff. I just love this stuff, man. So hopefully, yeah, like I said, I don't want to go through the whole bloody thing, but and I will post it on my community tab if you guys want to take a look at later at some of this stuff. They're using it more freely as well as poisonous gas. Telemachus says there are 40 metal pulp alley minis. The rest are resin prints. Okay. On the Corsair front, the Italian infantry continues to go forward. In the northern zone of Mont Saint-Michel on Tuesday, a strong and extended Austrian entrenchment was taken. And that's the fourth battle of the Isonzo. And 146 prisoners, including 8 officers, were captured. Yep, that's the fourth. All right, so we just did that. I'm popped there. I'm just going to make sure I'm not going all over the place with my whatevers. I'm doing all right, I think, for time. I'm trying to look at what I had for priorities, priority listed. Did the war, did that, did the week that was. I think now it's down to the Senussi Uprising, Darfur campaign, and Project Albion. And I think we're going to go to the Project Albion, or Operation Albion thing, because it's a game, you know, and I mean, you guys are gamers, for crying out loud. And we'll go from there. But I'm telling you, I am really starting to enjoy this, being able to share them, having 2 monitors. Like I said, even with this rink, I mean, it's an old VGA monitor. It's been sitting in my basement for 10 years. It's in rough shape, but guess what? It's working. So shush. All right. And please let me, actually, I think I have to make you go, something like that, don't I? Or something like that. Actually, I just do full on. You don't need to see me. All right. Some blueberry skewered to clear the vinegar taste. Now, you were telling me skyr is some kind of Norwegian yogurt or something, Meandering Mike, or something like that. So anyways, this is the game that Harro Bosma said that he was waiting to get or something, I guess because it takes for freaking ever for people to get, excuse me, to get this, to get strategy and tactics in Europe or whatever. But well, let's take a quickie look. So this is for the 19, and I don't know too much. It's Icelandic yogurt. Thank you, Meandering Mike. So I guess this just recently came out. And well, as you can say, 1917, 1918. I don't know too much about it. But hopefully we'll talk a little bit about the 1915 incursions, or whatever you want to call it, towards me. Charles Latora says, I burnt Minnie Mouse, the pancake. Oh, yes. And remember, Charles Latora, we get to find out. I haven't taken a look at my comments since or whatever. But we'll get to find out if you're right, whether or not you're going to still be the only boy, or the only boy Latora, or there's going to be another one coming around the corner. And hopefully you'll do a special whatever. Yeah, so it wasn't the first kick at the can that the Germans tried to nail Riga with, I guess, not just a land invasion, because as we know right now, I don't know if it was in that, I think it was for this week, where Hindenburg had a little chit chat with the Kaiser and said, by the way, if you want, I think it was in my little, oh my God, a blimp counter. Actually, those are really nice counters. So I want to show you also here, because this person keeps popping up, and I really, well, this, it's in the forums. Is it him? Yep, Robert Smitty Smith. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know about this person. He's done a ton of YouTube videos. He keeps popping up every 5 seconds in games that I'm looking around in and whatnot. He actually, way back when, his video on Battle for Germany. He he had the old version and then got the new deluxe version or whatever from Decision Games. His video and his chat about it essentially made me pull the trigger on that game, and that's going upstairs. And I think Meandering Mike says that's one of his favorite games from way back when. Like, I don't think he probably has the newer version, but whatever. But anyways, I thought he likes this game. I will say this: obviously he's not stupid. He's being politically smart with it, the way he's talking about it. It's like give the rules a pass in a sense, and so on and so forth. SPI's Battle for Germany. Yes, thank you, Mary Mike. That's what I was thinking about. Anyways, this guy, if you want to find out a hell of a lot about the background to this this operation and whatnot, here you go. Go to the BGG. Well, it's in the links, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can go there. But there you he had it there. So what else did I want to show you? Some of the. Hold on here. Yeah, let's go to the. I'll stop sharing this for now. Boink. There we go. And then I'm going to pop up some pictures, I hope. The Riga. That's what I wanted to. Yes, let's go to that bit here. You guys can see that. And then we're going to, and then maybe I'll show a map in a bit. Hold on. I did a chronology thing as well for the how's that? It was something like that. Nope. That's the worst thing. There we go. How we just? Oh well. I thought I had something better than that, but oh well. We'll go with that. Nope. I think we're just gonna have to go with that. Anyways, so I wanted to put in. So I went through the chronology book, and then I was like, okay, let's pop in any instance I could find with Riga in 1915 for the first kick at the can that the Germans did. And this was something, and you're going to notice it later on, is I remember mentioning this. I'm not sure if it was maybe just to Meandering Mike or I mentioned it in the live streams, but I scratched my head a little bit when I read about that the Germans had attempted an amphibious landing back in 1915. Because I think it was also when I was starting to read up on amphibious landings in Der Weltkrieg and find out, I know it's not the same as World War II and so on and so forth. But I wanted to, see what was going on. I was looking around later and I went, what the hell? Anyways, here we go. So this is you can see what's up. And I don't know if you guys know, maybe it's patently obvious when I go to take a look at a map later and so on and so forth of why Riga is so important. But obviously, they've spent a heck of a lot of energy and resources trying to get Riga. Meandering Mike says there was some interesting action on the two islands northwest of the Gulf of Riga during World War II. And one of them, ironically, and this is bizarre, Meandering Mike and everybody else, which I thought was totally neat. One of them is maybe you're thinking of Moon Island. And yet again, it was also an important bit here later on with Operation Albion. I'm not kidding you. So yesterday, I'm doing proofreading of a document at work, and it's up in northern Canada, and it's a different one. But one of the chapters was about Moon Island, and I went, "You got to be flipping kidding me!" Yeah, it's a different Moon Island, but I was just like, "This is just too weird." I'm loving this stuff. So here we go. I just wanted to quickly, and then maybe we'll go take a look at a map and whatnot. And oh my God, it's 10 to 11. We're not going to get to the Senussi and that. We'll just have to do it next week. And I knew anyways, earlier on in the week when I was starting to do stuff, I was like, Chris, you're biting too much more. You're taking on too much that you can. And you're only going to do a half-assed job yet again of a lot of stuff. But I was like, okay, we'll just rather than do a half-assed job or whatever, I'll do a little bit of of it, and then we'll just nibble away kind of thing. But I'm like, we're not going to get here. And even here, I think this is probably going to be as much as I'm going to do on the Riga thing and Operation Albion. But and then we'll switch over. I do want to mention though why I'm finding the Senussi campaign and Darfur and everything interesting because I do want to mention it, and we'll talk about more detail next week. And the big thing is for me is that, what is the reasoning behind the Ottomans and the Germans doing what they were doing up in northern Africa? And when you see Meandering Mike mentions Moon Island is part of Sar Island connected by a bridge. Ooh, this is going to be interesting to find out. I'd like to take a look at that then. It caused a lot of grief for the British and the French and Italians too, that they had to divert a lot of resources and attention to Northern Africa, including their own troops. Now remember, a lot of these troops that are being evacuated from Gallipoli are going to end up being sent there. They're not going to the Western Front, not going to go to help out other places. Tell me how many German troops and how many Ottoman troops are being sent to North Africa? None. Not bad, huh? So all you're doing is sending basically ammunition and you're sending supplies to somebody else to do your work for you, while somebody else is. I think that's pretty cool. So I want to take a look at that. And it was also another connection strategy of trying to yet again attack Egypt from the British, attacking Egypt not just from the east, but from the west and from the south. I thought, whoa, this is kind of interesting. Yet again, I want to find out more about that stuff. So that, and of course, incorporate it with my game. And away we go. I just thought it was, I want to find out about this. So, let's quickly go through here because we're running out of time. Then we'll take a look at the map of Riga and whatnot and see how that goes. So, look at that. Russian government evacuates factories at Riga and Warsaw. That's on the 25th. Remember, this is all part of it just blows me away to think that, this is all part of the Golitsa Tarnów, I guess, effect of it. Because, that's all happening, and yet they're able to be pushing up towards here. German transport in the Baltic. Yet again, it's I've got it in the links and whatnot. I've mentioned it before with you guys. With the British submarines going up in the Baltic to help out the Russian fleet there. That's been happening, and they're just nailing German ships going back and forth from Sweden and so on and so forth. And also the Swedish government is supposedly complaining, hey, man, what are you doing? That type of stuff. But it's just, I just love this stuff. So here we go. There you go. Russians repulse Germans near Riga. This is around here. Now we're going to get into where there's naval engagement between. This is the battle of the Gulf of Riga, the very first one here, and it lasts for a few days. I would like to find out if there's anybody who has a specific scenario for it in one of their games. I don't know. But you can easily track down the ships that were involved and so on and so forth. That'd be kind of neat. I'm not into that type of game per se, but I would like to see if I just would like to know about it. There we go. Naval engagement. We just said that attacks at the entrance of the Gulf of Riga. German fleet retired. Including the Moltke. This is the interesting thing, and I didn't know. Where is it here? It's not here, but it's somewhere else. I found this out. This is where a bit of propaganda, I guess you can say in a way. So remember, this is from the chronology book. The very British-centric. German fleet retires, losing 2 cruisers, including the Moltke. It kind of, maybe I'm pushing in too much of it, but it didn't sink out right. The Moltke gets repaired in a few weeks, like in a couple of months. It'll be out on the water again. But I just thought that was interesting. So maybe I'm reading too much into it, so I should shush. There it is. The naval battle of Riga continues, and it's been going on for quite a long time. Where is that freaking? There's the British submarine, sinks 5 German transports. Where did I find you? Well, it's not here then. Darn it! It's somewhere else. I have it written down somewhere where the Germans Russian landing party beats off Germans near there. Okay, but there's somewhere else where the Germans tried to land. I don't know. I've got to find out what day it was. Probably maybe over here then. They tried to use 4 barges or flat whatever barges. I don't know, flat bottom barges, or I don't know what the wording is. But okay, so we got that. I want to show you a map. Excuse me, maybe that'll be that. Where are you? I thought I had a nice little Riga map. Oh, darn it. Yes, I do. Okay. And you guys can see that. Excellent. Okay. Telemachus says German capture of Riga brought the Germans closer to the Russian capital of Petrograd and threatened the breakup of the northern sector of the Eastern Front. Thank you, Telemachus. You guys are gonna, like I said, you guys know way more about this stuff than I do. I think by the time, what is it? What do they call it? The transitional provisional government or whatever. Back then, Meandering Mike says Vianatum is the name of the causeway connected the moon to Sare. It was built in 1896. Ooh, I can't wait to find out a bit more about that then. Especially I'll find out how long it is and so on and so forth. So you guys can see that good, and it's huge for you. Fantastic. Oh yeah, this is Operation Albion thing. There it is. Oh my God, why can't I even read it here? I'm going off into Wonderland, and it says right there, provisional government, for God's sakes. So there you go. Where's that Moon Island? I wonder if we can, or if this is not, maybe not the right place, the right scale. Or is it Montu, or is it around that area? Oh, I did, but anyways, I wanted you to kind of get an idea of what that area looks like. And okay, so that's why it's getting awfully close to the capital, is it? Meandering Mike says the eastmost red arrows on the islands. Okay. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Holy smokes! So that must. And you're thinking it goes to this big ass island, or one of these little, or to the mainland? That'll be neat to see later. Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking some actual. And that was done in 1896. You're saying? Holy Moses! Yeah, we're at 10:57, guys. I'm trying to think of anything else I wanted to show you. I do want to show. Do want to get into this at some point. Hold on, and maybe I'll put it into view, and then we'll just stop it at that. And hopefully I'm going to get to, there we go. And then I'm going to present my screen. Hold on. Where are you? There you are. Because I want to start talking about this. You guys can see that. I'll bump it up a bit. Yeah. I want to start talking about this, the Serbian exodus. Is there any other ones I could look at? Well, obviously, because it's happening right now. Eric Chavez BattleReady says, I'll be watching the full stream later, running and trying to listen. And we're just about to leave. So thank you for participating. It's great to see you. Meandering Mike says there was a castle built on the Big Island in the 19. What the hell? Yeah, I can't wait to. Like I said, I can't wait to find out about this stuff. So I want to take a look at this because it's been, this is going on right now in real time. I want to wrap my head around how in the world I've been, watching the Great War thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I mentioned it. If you guys here, we'll just stop the thing for now. If you're going to watch, and Meandering Mike, I was thinking about you earlier in the week when I was watching it too. Week 71 of the Great War episodes. If you want a good chunk, I should say a good chunk, but a real compressed little chunk of the screw up that is Albania, watch that one. He goes into it very quickly of like how effed up Albania is, and I was like, wow. I was thinking, wait a minute, I would love to mention, of course, in real time. For me, this is what's happening. We're about week 72 now. All right, yeah, because I would like to talk about that. Also, we're at the end of like 1915, and I would like to see about what would you guys consider just go to, it would be week number 71 for in the 1915 playlist. So if you go to the 1915 playlist for the Great War Channel, it'll be week 71. If you look down in the whatever, and it's about like the 5th minute in, and he'll just say, "Oh yeah, by the way," and he'll talk about Montenegro and Albania, and I was just like, "Holy cow!" It's because, as you know, it's such a mess. Trying to find out who in the world is actually in control of Albania. As you know, the king's gone, and everybody and their dog seems to be poking their nose in there, so you don't know what's going on. So I'd love to do a report card, kind of a chit chat of whatever, how you guys may think of like looking at the German, like the Central Powers versus the Entente, like how are they doing? William Arends says Volka Renke's Nevsky game covers some of the same territory in the 1240s. Whoa, interesting. So I wanted to, I don't know about you, because also, yet again, I would like to take a look. I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, if I was going to rate them right now, I would give, let's say, the Central Powers a B+, and I would give the Entente a D. Let's be honest. What has the Entente got to say good about? You took Cameroon. Whoa, amazing. You're amazing. Like, what else did you do? Like, I'm serious. What else did they do? I don't know of anything. It just blows me away. So I'd like to chit chat about those type of things, and maybe you guys should go, no, actually, let's look at it from another aspect. All right, that's it. We're at 11:01. I think that's. I don't know how this went. Hopefully, like I said, once I get used to this 2-monitor thing, hopefully it won't be less clunky. Meandering Mike says Baltic Crusade started in 1198. Lots of action. You guys, man, no. Well, I guess that's why it's great to chit chat with you guys, because I'm just like, to connect them all. My God, I don't know anything. It's okay. Is this part of the? Am I wrong about this? Is this because when you mentioned William Arends, the Nevsky thing? Now, what is that? Oh, I've seen an old black and white Russian film where a bunch of Germans, Teutonic Knights, which I'm assuming is the Tannenberg thing, where they all fall through the ice. It is a freaking awesome film. I'm assuming it must be pro-Soviet World War II. I'm assuming when it came out. Is this all part of this Baltic Crusade thing that you guys are talking about? I don't know. Because you guys better mention something quick, because I'm about to end the stream. And if you don't say anything and do want to say something, and I haven't ended the stream, please just put it in the comments so everybody else can find out too. Because I'd like to know about that Nevsky. Is that, you know what I mean? The Nevsky movie I'm thinking about, the old black and white one, the old Soviet whatever. It's really good. Tannenberg was 1410. Okay. But is it still, or like the Baltic Crusade, or forget it. Maybe I'm trying to think of like the Crusades, which just seem to last for freaking forever. William Arends says, that's it. The movie was made in 1938 before World War II. Thank you, William Arends. Yeah, I think I watched it on TVO way back when. Really, yeah, it was darn good. Love that type of stuff. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope this went well, as per usual. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Oh my gosh, we may not see Harro Bosma for a very, very long time. I think Harro Bosma mentioned to me that him and his wife are going away for a month on holiday or something. So that'll be great. Great live stream. Thanks, Meandering Mike. And like Telemachus says, see ya. As per, and you know why it's a great live stream. It's because of you people, for goodness sakes. It ain't me. So there we go. Hope you have a great Saturday, great weekend, and I'll see you later. And yeah, now I get to watch some videos because I got to catch up on all you guys. And Dad versus Son is back. And if you guys, I'm sorry, but to be able to do something like with the Hansel and Gretel thing and just turn a World War II combat thing, I was just like, yeah, this is thoroughly enjoyable, man. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great time. See you later.